Hi, thank you for clicking on this video. Let's get into cheaper ways to do resin art / resin art on a budget, because we all know it's a very expensive art form. In this video, I'm going to show you a list of the cheaper way to do things versus the more expensive way and show you how much money you can save when starting out with resin or just buying supplies in general if you're already doing resin. I've got my notes here. Look what I spent all this time doing. I really want to break everything down and show you that it can be more affordable. It's still not a cheap art form, but what art form is, right? Cheaper version. We have a heat gun. You can get the $13.99 heat gun versus the $85 heat gun. They both work the same, and honestly, even the more expensive one has the dials and the different temperatures. I don't really find it's necessary. I wanted to show you an example of how you can save money on molds, because I and a lot of people on Etsy sell their used molds, and when I say used, honestly, like, they're in great condition. It's not going to affect your work at all, so there's really no problem with buying used molds. So my Etsy actually just got hacked. I will keep you all updated on that, but I'm selling this game pack mold for $25, and then plus shipping can be an extra $20. But for this example, let's say you're getting all these molds for just $25. If you were to have bought them all separately, brand new, I bought the domino set for around $20, the tic-tac-toe mold for $23, and then times 2 because I put 2 tic-tac-toes in the game pack, checkers and chess mold, and the display cards. So that brings me to a total of $107. So that's a huge difference. $25 for all of those molds, and honestly, most of them I only used once. Or you can buy them all separately, brand new, for $107. So you can go on Etsy or eBay, just any site like that, and find people's stuff that they're giving away, because I'm not giving it away because it's in bad condition. I'm giving it away because I'm focusing on other art forms at the moment. If you're going to be making keychains, earrings, anything you have to drill, just buy a small hand twist drill. They're $10 on Amazon versus the electric drill I have $75. Obviously, I did get the electric drill so I could use it for just like home things too, but if you just want it for art, don't go and buy the most expensive drill you possibly can. If you want to get into paintings, a great way to save money is to go to your local thrift store and buy vinyls, old records. A wooden board, especially the circular ones, can sometimes be $30 a piece. So imagine what you have to price your paintings at to make up for the cost of the boards, as well as the resin material itself, the colors, your time, etc. So I would thrift vinyls for like 50 cents to $1 because they were scratched and never going to work again. Find cheaper things, thrift things at your local store, old picture frames to do resin on, especially when you're first starting out, because why buy expensive boards to do paintings on when you could just buy cheaper things to practice until you get good enough that you feel like you want to move into more expensive supplies. If you're getting into UV resin, you can get the $12.99 lamp, which is honestly what I still use, or the lamp for $35.99, because honestly, they're both going to do the same thing. Of course, one will obviously be bigger, but I still use the like tiny, really cheap UV lamp, and it works great. Next, I wanted to get into materials that are replaceable, because those costs add up as well. You still have to buy things to mix our resin, to do our resin on. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. I'm having trouble talking today. I wanted to reiterate the fact that getting reusable materials is so much better for the environment. You don't want to be getting styrofoam bowls and popsicle sticks to mix that just all go in the garbage. And I know resin can be wasteful in itself, but if we use reusable materials, at least we're making much more of a difference. Obviously, these prices can vary depending on where you are, but this whole video is just to give you an idea. They may not be exact calculations of how much things are in your area. Silicone mat is $12.49. Garbage bags are $11.67. So once you get through that whole pack of garbage bags, you're buying another pack. Silicone stir sticks are $12.59, and popsicle sticks are $11.99, and I usually buy a couple packs at once. You can get silicone bowls for $24.19 for a whole pack, or you're going to be buying styrofoam bowls at $14.95, and like I said, I'd probably buy a couple packs at once back in the day. And so I also did a calculation to show you that if you get all reusable materials, let's say you do resin often, which I'm assuming you do if you have a small business with it, or you're going to be starting out with it for practice, you're going to be spending $38.81 a month just replacing those reusable materials. So cut those costs down. Let's just see what $38.81 times 12 is. $465 $465.72 that you could be saving if you just get reusable materials and you're not constantly spending money on replacing them. Another way to save money is when you're first starting out, don't buy so many shipping materials. Honestly, what I did in the beginning was used paper envelopes and shipped them like that, but if you just want to get bubble mailers, for example, get 50 bubble mailers for $20, or you can get 100 bubble mailers for $32. So obviously if you're buying more, it's going to be more expensive, but just start with the cheaper version. Just get 50 of them for 20 bucks. That is a great way to get started. Or if you're really, really new, you can just buy bubble mailers as you get orders just at your local post office instead of buying a whole bulk worth of shipping materials when you're first starting out. Get those shipping materials once you have some revenue to work with. I always recommend starting with smaller items such as bookmarks, keychains, earrings. The smaller resin items are A, cheaper to make, and B, you're going to need smaller bubble mailers to ship them in, because every time you go up a couple inches in bubble mailers, they get more expensive. So if you're doing smaller items, they're cheaper to make and then they're cheaper to ship because they're just tiny like that. And the bubble mailers themselves are also cheaper to buy because they're smaller. I wanted to throw in one more thing. If you are running a business, you're of course probably on social media because that is the best way to get your business out there and grow it. Definitely start tagging brands in your videos. If you're using certain supplies, tag Art Resin. Let the brands see your videos, because I can't even tell you how many free supplies I've gotten from brands, which is going to cut down your cost by a ton. I'll put a picture up. $170, and I've had times where I've gotten those bottles for free from Art Resin, for example. So you're taking off nearly $200 from your cost. So I also factored that in. I know that that comes a little bit later once you've established yourself more, but you don't need that many followers to get brands sending you stuff. I think back when I first hit like 10K, I started getting brands sending me stuff. I'm going to give you some totals and we're going to play around with these numbers. Okay, so let's say you've gotten all the cheaper versions of things and you've gotten your free resin and all of that, cheap bubble mailers. Your total is going to be $134. If you go the more expensive route, it is going to be $466. Looking at pretty big differences here. All right, now I'm going to give you a couple extra tips just to finish off this video and help you save as much money as you can. You can go on, I don't know what the sites are called, but buy things wholesale. I know they take a lot longer to ship to you, but paying 50 cents for a mold versus $20 on Amazon can really help you. That's obviously a personal preference, but that's just an idea. Don't have too much variety on your store. I actually learned this with business. If you give a customer way too many options, they're going to just not know what to do and not buy anything. So just have gold and silver keychain rings, or just gold or silver. At one point when I was doing earrings, that rusty color, I had black earrings, I had silver. I just had so many colors and options, and people are very overwhelmed, I find, when that happens. And I feel like that too if I have way too many options. It's like when you go to a restaurant and there's like a huge menu, you're like, I don't know where to even start. A few variations of your products, because that will help the customer actually want to buy from you, and it's a lot less work for you. You don't have to buy as many supplies. If you are making earrings like I did and I had so many options, imagine how many different earring hooks I had to buy and then jump rings to match those earring hooks. It just ends up being a huge hassle. So less is more. Those are my ways you can save money when starting out with resin, or if you're already doing resin, ways to save money on supplies. I get asked this question a lot. I would love to make a part 2. I just wanted to show that I know this art form is expensive, but there are cheaper ways to do it. Not all hope is lost. Let me know which tip was your favorite. I think my favorite was how much the disposable materials cost per month if you're replacing those bowls and cups and all that. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Leave me any video suggestions down below. Love you guys. Bye.